Welcome back. We're still having this conversation with Segun Sowunmi, and Abigail is ready with another hot question.
All right, sir. Nigeria is steadily gearing towards the one-party system. As we see senators defecting and cross-carpeting to APC, almost everyone is trying to cross-carpet to APC. And seeing that you have always, is he there?
Yes, he is, I believe.
Hello?
Yeah,
okay. So seeing that you've always operated on the opposition side, do you think this will be a threat to democracy, or what's your thoughts on that? The one-party system that is looking like what we'll be experiencing in 2027.
You know, thank you. My heart bleeds that those who got the opportunity of the first bite of the cherry, that's the PDP, men like Obasanjo, Atiku, and the whole works, my heart bleeds that they do not understand that building democratic institutions to last is more useful in the long run to have stability in developmental policies of nations that can also ensure that they can have consistency. I am beyond distraught that this democracy has gotten to the point where rather than have parties being strong and the safeguard of democracy, we have reduced it to a cult of human personality. And this thing crept in, and those who should have prevented it did not do their job. I've been advocating and agonizing about it. I even asked that the PDP let me help reform it. I wasn't looking for it because I think that that position is a fancy position. But I knew that if they don't reform, it will be impossible for people to sit down in a sinking ship, especially one that is a self-inflicted injury. And what do you expect people, politicians, those who want to be friends with government, those who want to contest the election, what do you expect people to do? If there's an opening there, they will go. Let me tell you, I'm even afraid now, more afraid for the APC, that they could implode their party with the all-comers nonsense that is going on there.
Wow.
You all are witnesses to how I've wondered, and I've told him, the president too, democracy is a tedious work for those who have to run democracy as politicians. Power must be shared. Once you get power and you appropriate it all to yourself, whether you are doing the right thing or you are not doing the right thing, you will likely have a situation where stakeholders who should back you will leave. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with Babagana Kingibe. I've been looking for him for years. And I sat with him and I said, Daddy, why is this thing going this way? And I can tell you, for the benefit of all the work I do as a part, I deserve a national award. He said to me, he said, Segun, the main problem is that this particular administration seems not to be calling the people they called before they came into power. I said, okay, we'll talk about it so that they can improve it. Some of them don't need appointments anymore. How they designed our presidential system in such a way that a president is captured by maybe the trappings or even his aides, people can't reach him, people can't talk to him, people can't feel him. That's not right. And if the democracy breaks, or if it goes back to the fourth line of Awolowo is Yoruba and Namjazikwe is Igbo, Tafawa Balewa is Hausa, what's going to leave all the effort we have put into making sure we can have a pan-Nigerian country? These are the risks. So I'm not happy with it. I wish I was on the saddle so that I can whip them in line. But in the meantime, I can only advocate and push and hope and encourage them. And I've been here since 1998. My umbilical cord is not buried there. I'm even beginning to get irritated that they are bullying Bola Tinubu, my own person. Because the country runs on the pendulum. 8 years in the north, 8 years in the south. I've tried my best to get Peter to stand firm. Instead of him to let us go and build something, he's jumping here, jumping there, jumping there, jumping there, jumping with people that will not represent whatever it is we want to call new. I can accept that Ashadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the last president of that age grade. I can accept that. But I can't accept that we're going to now be stuck with people that are old and maybe their health will start to fail. Why would the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria become an old people's home? I don't agree. So if we are stuck with Ashadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I expect people to start planning for succession. And I told him, We must find the successor generation, and I am damn one of them.
Yes. So let me take a caller. We have a call on the line from Lagos. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Sowunmi, kudos to you. Anytime I see you on television talking, my mind will always do big. But now I can see that you know what you are doing. People don't understand Tinubu. I have been saying, even though things are yet to be okay, but the man is in the right direction. People, everybody is feeling it. I'm feeling it too. But then, this man, God has brought him, but people refuse to understand how it could be by.
Okay, I don't think...
Are you still there?
She's gone.
Okay, you're gone.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yes. Let me ask a question before I come to you, Abigail.
You didn't really answer the last part of the question.
Which was?
I was asking, what's the fate of democracy? Should the one-party system see the light of day? I don't think I really heard his answer.
Okay, did you answer that?
He was disappointed in the...
Did you answer that?
But he didn't
If she reverses and listen, we're not looking for a yes or no answer. My style of communication is to teach, really. And I do the narrative in such a way that it's stylized. I already said I don't even agree. I can't even accept that it's even inching to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a question. What you think about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? If you would, if because we hear that he's going to be contesting 2027, if you think he's the major problem the PDP is having, and if you think he should go ahead and contest, or he should rest it there.
You see, thank you. It's a tough question, but I've always answered it this way. We put a lower ceiling of entry. You must be 35 before you get in. We did not put a top ceiling, and therefore we cannot, in the real sense of the word, bully anybody from their aspiration. The aspiration that people have is legitimately theirs. And if they want to run with their aspiration, it is the duty of those who are running the political party, oh God, to figure out by self where lies the best place to pick a candidate that can drive us. With all of the best effort of the last election in America, they brought Biden and he couldn't go far, then they changed it. She ran the most ghastly campaign she could run, but the Donald Trump won. That's how democracy works. Democracy promises you a seat at the table, a right of participation. The suffrage of who will win and who will not win is with the people. And therefore, if you have a clean election, a relatively clean election, you have a judiciary that people must trust, then the democracy is working. Otherwise, if you say what will happen in a one-party state, there are some, all the nations in the world are not running multi-party American style democracy now. And some of them are even scaling up on development and achieving whatever. But the question I asked the Chinese when I saw their leadership is that, oh, you people, you say you have moved 700 people out of poverty. I asked him, if I were to go to your villages, will I meet happy citizens? They got the message. The people like freedom. People must have an idea of freedom. But it cannot be that we will now not know that in a global world, we have a duty to also be these ambassadors of our own country. We can't be using assets that are available, Twitter, Facebook, and all that, only to be insisting that we'll be shaming our people, we'll be increasing the level of hate and mistrust between tribes. I've championed these things. So the answer to your question is, I don't believe we should go in that route. But I also know people are not going to sit back and allow a bunch of clowns to make a mess of their own ambition, even their sanity. It's not so hard to run a political party now. It's only interest. And what is even this interest? Half the time they're only looking at who is going to bribe them, who is going to give them money. And even when they get the money, have you not even looked at it? What have they even done with it? What quality of life are they even living? We are like beggars in Rolls Royce. People buy cars that ordinarily does not even reflect that they should be buying that kind of car for the kind of road where they live, but they are happy to do it. And tax enforcement in the country is so weak People are not even being called upon to come and pay commensurate taxes relative to the luxury.
Yeah.
These are the things we're talking about. So
I have to pause you here. We have a caller on the line who wants to speak to you. Yakubu from Dokwebo.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Yakubu.
And Sister Tokwe, good morning. Sister Yenny, good morning. And then one of our guests, so good morning. Obi, yesterday I watched Mr. Segun Sowunmi on one of the sister stations. Before now, some of us that have won our heart in APC, especially in local area like Dokwebo here, because for me, some of us play some kind of a role for this government to be in place, even though it may not know to the Mr. President and other people in the hierarchy of the party. But as a Nigerian, I always tell people this. Some of us, including me, Mr. George from the Ikeja, Reverend Dominic, and the rest of us, we are not supporting this government because of saying we are looking for something. Some of us support this government because we want a better country. And then yesterday when I watched Mr. Segun Sowunmi, I was like, hey, this is one of the persons that we are looking at. How do we go to tackle this guy? Because when he's talking about opposition, he talk with the facts. Sometimes he talk with facts. Sometimes he's also biased sometimes. But yesterday when I look at this guy, and then Mr. Segun Sowunmi was not telling us that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a mentally alert, physically alert, and then he said all sorts of things that I say, hey, Mr. Segun Sowunmi of all people. Now, I want to say this to Mr. Segun Sowunmi. Now that they have visited Mr. President, I want to applaud you, and then I want you to stand as the way you always stand. Because a democracy without opposition, for example, personally, I don't like it. Because we need to put our government in tow. We need to put them on their toes. Because let me give you two examples here, because of the time. Mr. Segun Sowunmi, now I know that you have direct line to Mr. President, if not that you have somebody that Mr. President will get to listen to us. Number one, there is some policy. I personally that I support the government. We don't like such policy. Okay. Number one policy is this. When we are talking about CNG, I think you know what I'm talking about. They were telling us that we should convert our car or our buses to CNG. We should have ourselves. We should have ourselves. How much is this conversion? Mr. Segun Sowunmi, are you listening to me? Yes. How much is this conversion? The conversion of top plot of the car is 1,250,000.
He has mentioned it before. He's mentioned it again. It is a major issue of concern to him.
Mr. Segun?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
In the Obasanjo years, the economy was quite depressed, and part of the policy of monetization or infusing new energy into the country was what allowed, you know, that cash back and all that we now had a lot of people having cars. But hey, the cost of buying a car at that time, a civil servant who probably had about 180,000 or something could get some kind of car. You can't, you see, the money, the quantity of theory of money and the value of money is the thing that the Nigerian people are not really educated on. The monies of a nation, however you like it, that you want to take things cheaply, the only things you can really take cheaply, if you are able to scale up, are the things you produce locally. You can't tell the person that is making one equipment how much is going to sell it. I'm not their spokesperson. He has not challenged me for that. He's not even going to be able to pay for all the amount of defense I'm doing. But the point I'm making is that I understand how they want to have electronic cars in Europe, and it took Shimon Peres, the former Prime Minister of Israel, to bring a young man in and say, okay, this electronic car, how do we charge the batteries? And got all the oil, the multi people that do cars into a dinner, and they figured out that solution. The world has electronic cars now. When men of vision are speaking today, the painful thing is that it takes time for you to see the gestation and the manifestation of this thing. If you have a gas-driven car, or a combined gas and petrol-driven car, it's cheaper. It's better for the ozone layer if you can afford it. That when we started GSM, even we, the PDP, the cost of GSM was an arm and a leg. Today, is there anybody that truly can't afford a SIM? Is there anybody that doesn't really have a phone, no matter how either cheap or not cheap? These things, you see, let us accept one thing. Our generation are living on the past glory of the previous generation. The fella Nikolako Kutiba Mabeda and Co. To tell you that because of Yeni, my sister, and the Abiolas and the Olos and all that, the Atababa Lewas and the Okpara. We are the ones now to build what the next generation is going to live on.
True.
Are we going to spend all our time just pulling ourselves down, hating ourselves, destroying our country, and then when maybe they are gone, like them Bola, they are older than us, if it follows the order of things, and them Atiku, they go, are we going to be stuck with a country where we can't even have a conversation among ourselves before it becomes, they will support their man, they are not bigots. 1 second, when I support a man, my own man know that I'm even been criticizing unduly and maybe a bit too much, given our relationship. I will now start being a bigot. Point I'm making is that it's their duty to explain their policy.
Yeah.
It's their duty to try to think about it. But the areas where I have issues with, I try to tell him in a way that he may get, and he gets it. I asked him about agriculture, that look, our people are hungry, what are we going to do? He said, Segun, I'm already opening up big lands all over, even in the zones. And I'm going to give them all the tractors and everything. I'm going to buy some bulldozers now. Then I asked him, what about my Ogun? He said, have I not just given them the ability to have cotton and maybe begin to export cotton? He said, these things are not easy. I'm doing everything humanly possible. My heart is with the Nigerian people. And I understand their prayer. And then I asked him another question I must tell you. I said, what about this local government money? He said, Segun, I went to that court because I just wanted the money to get to the local government so that our people can feel it. And I said, are you not going to bully the governor? He said, Segun, democracy will give me problem. I have to go through the courts. How can I be talking to the president at that level and somebody think that I went there to go and be talking about who's going to eat some movie tomorrow morning? Do I tell you that I'm hungry?
Thank you, sir. Why can't you have a question for him?
Okay. Let me deviate a bit. There are some APC members, disgruntled APC members, who have left the APC, like El Rufai. Rotimi Amechi hasn't left, but is disgruntled. Then there is the PDP members who are disgruntled, like Wike. I want to know your relationship with Wike first.
Okay, let me take the Nasiru one, then I'll tell you what me and him discussed about Wike. I asked him, I said, it's a bit painful when people struggle and support when it was very hard. They shouldn't be feeling that they are disregarded and all that. He said to me, he said, Segun, I know Nasiru and I like Nasiru and I love Nasiru. It's just that when things don't go exactly the way he wants immediately, his reaction can, tilt things in all sorts of ways. I said, well, he's younger than you. It's your duty to call him in and embrace him and make sure you keep your word. And then I asked him about Wike. I said, sir, I worry that the energy and the garrulosity and all of these things is beginning to be a bit much. What do you say to that? And this thing in Rivers. He said, Segun, Wike is that type of special breed that he lives his truth and speaks his truth, and I respect him for that. He said, for me to be able to maneuver, lest he will remove that governor completely, I had to step in quickly to get them to douse tension. I even have to tell him, okay, Wike, don't be angry. I don't want that guy to be lost, and I don't want the Nigerian people to... Can you imagine asking the president that? So those who are decamping, some of them are going to be disappointed. It is value you must create so that wherever you are, people will chase you with whatever it is you say you want. If you chase after what they have, are you a thief? How much of it can they give you? But when you try to create value, you will find out that even when they engage you, they see value. And somebody who thinks himself as a potential president, do you think I will not be mindful of the fact that I will lose all my people who think I'm a champion of the oppressed? But I just don't want us to be glamorizing anger. That was why I told Peter, Claire, you are now a big voice in our country. It is not your responsibility to go all over the world just demarcating the nation. What's wrong with you? On top of that, you don't be shouting production. If they ask you a question, you can't even answer it. So the point I'm making is that if you are for Nigeria, whether you're APC, PDP, or whatever you call it, I'm for you. But if your idea is you hate the country, you want us to implode, you will not see anything good, you want the country to be, cloning themselves, Yoruba this, outside this, but I don't have time for that. I will fight you if I can. I will fight you because I know that at the end of the day, you will spend your time and go. Okay. And you're going to leave the mess of that your divisive type of doing things. You're going to leave it here.
Mr. Segun,
can your children cope?
Mr. Segun, we'd like to take a short break so we can drink water. And then when we come back, we'll come back to you. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.